I'm ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect? Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, welcome to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay on a Wednesday. Big E is here, Timko's here. Poos is back too.
The Poos.
The Poos is back. You know what else is back?
Minding her business.
The
What?
pink hat is back.
Oh my God.
When was the last time you saw the
Yeah,
Branson,
dude.
Missouri pink hat?
Right, man. How did I not notice that?
Yeah, it looks like it was left on a side of a freeway for a few months, but it's back.
Probably just under a bunch of shit in his car, right?
Yeah, probably
Pizza
was.
box.
No, you know what? I actually kind of cleaned my car out last week.
What?
Yeah,
Did you do the old sweeperoo?
a little more than a super. I still don't. I've got.
Did we talk about that on the air? Or was that all off the air?
No, I think it was on because
Was it?
I had somebody. What did I say? I referenced my car in some about going to Garth Brooks. I think when I was talking about Garth Brooks, someone said, "Oh, make sure you don't lose the tickets in the sweeperoo or something." And it was very interesting to see how they spell. I don't remember how they spelled it, but the spelling of the sweeperoo. It's
Probably SWEEP-A-ROO. Sweeperoo.
It's not a real word, so.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Dare I say a big show today? We got a lot to get to. We got a Scottish teacher.
Scottish.
Heed pants now. Yeah, this might be my new teacher of the year candidate. I got to be honest with you. I kind of like the way this guy's thinking. We got a dick cake, which is exactly what we should. E's birthday's coming up.
Yep.
I don't know. We've been kicking around some ideas for a cake for E. so
Perfect.
We do not.
I'm thinking.
Big hairy dick.
Probably a vagina would be better.
No, probably dick.
No, that's on us. That's our call. We're gonna make that. For
Actually,
you.
I don't want a fucking vagina cake. That'd be disgusting. I would take a dick cake over a vagina cake.
What?
It's more immature.
Yeah.
That's why because of that. Because of the fact that I see it's more immature.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want it finishing in the process, like some frosting coming out of it, or?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Fuck yeah.
We'll get working on that. It's coming up. When's your birthday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Is Tai Chung Gross gonna
You know what,
plan a weekend birthday extravaganza for you?
I don't even think I'm doing anything. I'm too tired from the last month and a half.
Yeah, you and Ty had a lot going on.
No, I'm seriously might not do anything. If I do,
Well, you've got your stand-up Friday.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
In
Yeah,
Novi,
right.
Laugh
Right.
Tracks, everybody.
Yes.
Yep. Where he did really well last time. Won the whole damn thing.
Right. Oh, if you call this time, if you went, just in case, by the way, if you were worried that you went last time and you're going to see the same jokes, you're not, because I'm going to do different stuff.
Are they going to possibly have 2 bartenders on staff this time?
Mhm.
That was unbelievable.
Dude,
Yeah.
that really is like, I know that's a weird situation because I'm just telling you that bar is so often so dead that what if they had 2 people?
They didn't have anyone they could call. No.
Dude, I don't know. Honestly, every time I've been there before.
Or the guy grabbing tickets who just stood
Right.
there the whole time.
Maybe jump behind there and help.
Well, he doesn't
You know?
work for the bar and.
Oh, are those 2 separate entities?
Yeah, actually, they kind.
Entities?
Well, the guy you're talking about has no affiliation to the bar. He runs that comedy club, as it were, in the
Oh.
in the thing there. So
Yeah.
he kind of, and he doesn't really even run it. He kind of just whatever. But you know what though? You're right. The place I've been to that bar before. Honestly, that's those same
That was
bartenders
brutal.
are there every
That was
time.
really brutal.
Yeah.
They were not obvious. They're usually okay if they have a quarter of what was there. It's just never that big. I've never been there when it's been that many people.
Yeah.
Never.
Between
So-
the people that came to see you and then a couple of those comics.
Yeah, the other guy had a lot.
There was another
too.
guy that brought 20 people probably at
Mhm.
least. So, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, that'll be cool. That'll be a good time then. Friday night, right?
Yep.
Laugh Tracks and Novi. Also, a new study on dick size. We had the one,
The Sharpie.
yeah, the Sharpie, the extra large Sharpie. There's a new study.
Is this different?
Um,
We'll get to it.
yeah, we'll have to get a ruler out and see exactly what that is.
Yeah.
It might actually be spot on, not in width, but in length. Hookup flyers. This kind of goes to the whole idea of E casting the net broadly that you keep telling him, and
work
the
for this
results
guy.
that you see when you do it as you
Extraordinary.
suggested. Yeah. So we'll get to that. E, I think you're going to be happy with the results. You might want to try this.
the hookup flyer.
Yep. And then we've got a chick that was raped, and they're blaming the victim. So we'll get to that. The execution. I was really excited last night at midnight. The execution was supposed to go on.
The cocktail. It was a problem with the cocktail.
Yeah,
right?
it's on hold.
What?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
And then,
I forgot we're going to talk about it later. My bad. I forget sometimes.
Hey, before we get into it, though, did you guys vote?
Yeah,
I did.
For ourselves?
I did.
Did you vote for anyone else in any other category?
No, I didn't. Did you?
No, I'm entirely uninformed.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to just throw my vote out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That'd
a
be very
responsible voter you are, Jay. You did vote for both of us or both of our categories?
I found both of our categories.
Hopefully other people found that as well.
People's Choice and Comedy.
Mm-hmm. Podcastawards.com.
Real quick and easy. Just boom, fill in a couple bullet points.
Yeah,
they ask for your email.
Yeah.
This is very easy. It was a little harder. The nomination process, if you remember, was actually kind of harder because you had to put like the URL or whatever, some weird shit.
For the
But this
website
is
and the
very
RSS feed.
easy.
Yeah, it is. They do. I guess they said something like for some people, they'll send you an email just to confirm that you voted. And if you get that email, you do have to respond to it.
So you're not a
Otherwise
robot. They're just making sure nobody's.
They actually specifically say that they're trying to weed out the machines that will just automatically go,
right.
So yeah, if you do get an email back, just respond to it. That way your vote counts. So anyway, podcastawards.com. What's up, E?
I didn't do that. So
what?
I didn't respond.
Did you get one?
I don't know.
Well, screech. Oh, you don't know. Well, all right. Moving on then.
These things that could be said off the air, often said on the air. Well, I don't think I don't know. Let me check real quick on the air.
Thinking out loud, E is.
And then the Justice Department. We knew this was coming. The Justice Department, Eric Holder and his team went flying into Missouri, into Ferguson, and they were. Does this surprise you at all that they found misconduct going on
Not at all.
in Ferguson? It would have shocked me if they didn't find something that they could pin this stuff to, and it's really vague, and the report hasn't come out, so it's kind of hard to say exactly what they found, but just based on the information they've given us so far, they will issue findings this week, maybe even as early as tomorrow, of racial bias routinely violating the constitutional rights of citizens, including stopping drivers without reasonable suspicion, making arrests without probable cause, and using excessive force. They did hundreds of interviews and a broad review of more than 35,000 pages of Ferguson police records. Officials found that although African Americans make up almost 70% of the population there, they accounted for 93% of all arrests between 2012 and 2014. They also concluded that African Americans accounted for 85% of all people stopped by Ferguson police officers and 90% of all citations issued. They plan to release the evidence on racial bias found in emails written by police and court officials. One of them in November of 2008, for instance, stated that President Barack Obama could not be the president for very long because what black man holds a steady job for 4 years?
Nice.
Yeah. There was another one that said
that was a court personnel
or a cop. They haven't identified him yet, but they said between court officials and cops. There was another one that said an African-American woman in New Orleans was admitted into a hospital for a pregnancy termination. 2 weeks later, she received a check for $5,000. She phoned the hospital to ask who it was from. The hospital said Crime Stoppers.
Dude.
I'm sorry. Like, I know when you take those like jokes like that and you put them in an official news story, they sound horrific. But let's be honest. I mean, Polak jokes when we were kids were everywhere, right? You heard Polak
how do you
jokes.
get a one-armed Polak out of a tree?
How?
Wave.
Like they were everywhere, but just to have that, like, and I don't mean to discount this. I'm not trying to do that, but to just make a joke about somebody that goes on in every industry, whether it's about black people or about Jews or about Nazis or whatever. I mean, that immature, infantile, they're funny jokes. They're stupid, funny jokes. But if you said, hey, in an email, hey, I pulled over 2 N-words today, and that's 2 for me, high five. Like, if that was the context of the emails, I'd have a problem. But if you went through 35,000 documents, and what you're showcasing here is a black man can't keep a job for 4 years jokes, those are jokes from the 80s or earlier. to me, it's just silly, stupid. I don't know. Does that sound like a dick? Like I'm discounting that, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kind
the
of.
fact is everybody jokes about dumb shit, but this is what drives company lawyers crazy, you know, when people are putting that shit in company email,
Yeah.
you know, and they're constantly harping on it, you know, keep
Yeah.
your private shit private and just right down the middle in terms of what you put on our email. And of course, people, I mean, I've done it, you know, use my company email for personal reasons. Everybody does.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's like, give me a break, you know, it's just a matter of convenience. But hey, man, here's the ultimate lesson, right? Don't send dumb fucking racist jokes on your company email because Ferguson might happen to you. I don't know. I mean, it's extreme, but
Well, that's the thing. They never expect in a million years that little old me is going to become the
and anybody's
subject.
gonna parse through your emails, right?
Yeah, which would be horrifying if you, you know, like if you went through my emails, it'd be. Well, I don't really send racial shit, to be honest with you. I know that sounds hard to believe, but I really don't. I mean, you don't have any emails from me going, "Oh, these goddamn Jews, they're ruining the." You know, you just don't have that. I wish there were more good white jokes. Why? How did we get left out of the fucking pool of jokes that the world spits?
There's probably some good ones,
dude.
Have you ever looked?
Yeah, I did. I did, and I printed up some.
Let's
But
hear some.
I wish they were more offensive. I was trying like desperately to find like the most racist white people jokes or vicious white people jokes, and they're just repeated the same ones over and over on these sites. It's like, oh, we've got the list here. Check it out. Time to get yours, white folks. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's hear it. What do we?
They suck, don't they?
Yeah. Do not be a racist like Mario. He's an Italian plumber who is made by the Japanese, speaks English, looks like a Mexican, jumps like a black man, and grabs coins like a Jew. That's not really white, but why are aspirins white?
Why?
Because they work.
Oh,
That's not really a shot at white people.
I
The
know,
shots
I
at
was
white people are coming.
Isn't that a positive?
Why do white people own so many pets, Jay?
Why?
Because we're not allowed to own people anymore.
That's kind
No,
of funny.
that's a fail. Okay. How do white guys satisfy their wives?
How?
They hire a pool boy. What do white women make for dinner? Oh,
What?
no, that's reservations. What do you call a white girl that can run faster than her brothers?
What?
The redneck virgin.
That's kind of funny. A little bit.
People are like crayons. No one likes the white ones.
Yeah.
How many white people does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
None. They just beat up the room for being black. See what I'm saying? Like, I seriously tried to find the best ones I could. What's 14 inches long and white?
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
How many? Another one. How many white people does it take to change a light bulb?
What? Or how
All
many?
of them. All of them. Were you trying to answer in the form of a question?
What is all of them?
All of them. One to hold it to the socket, and the rest to screw the world.
Oh man.
What do you call a mob of white people in Detroit burning down the city?
What?
A hockey victory. What's orange, white, and very beautiful?
What?
A white boy on fire. Why can't white people play chess?
Why?
Because they've been taught that all white pieces are kings. What did a cracker see when he looked at his family tree?
What?
A straight line. I guess because we all sleep with our family members. Why do white people like to play hockey?
Why?
It's the only other way to beat something black up if they're not a cop. How long does it take for a white woman to take a shit?
How long?
9 months.
I kind of like that one.
Got a chuckle out of you.
Yeah.
Racist.
Really?
What's the difference between a white man and a snake?
What?
One is evil, cold-blooded, venomous, slimy creature
other
of
one's a
Satan.
snake.
The other one's a snake. Why did the white man visit the moon?
Why?
Well, he heard the Indians had land there.
Oh, nice.
What do you call a white bitch shaking her ass?
What?
An ironing board with a massage feature. How many white people does it take to take smug credit for the achievements of a tiny number of their ancestors, even though they had absolutely no control of those
Jesus.
actions and no part in them?
How many?
Nearly all of them.
It's too long of a joke, man.
How many white people does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just use insider trading, a fake war on drugs, and institutional racism to keep minorities in servile positions so that someone else can change the bulb for them while they circle jerk each other about how moral they are compared to minorities.
Wow.
It's pretty funny, actually.
It's not bad.
It's a long, but it's
A white person is the sort of person who stands in their flooded town and demands that everyone pay more attention to the 3 drops of water that crept onto their doorstep while everyone else was drowning, and sees the fact that people have bigger problems than them as reverse prejudice. Yeah, so
Yeah, you're right, man. You
Doesn't
need a
have
whole
that
new batch.
sting. We do. I don't even know what you could
Doesn't.
joke about. Like
Those aren't even as much jokes as just like political,
Observations?
right?
Yeah, political observations.
They just kind of throw one little. What's the difference between this? And then it's a paragraph about what they don't like about white people.
You know.
yeah, there isn't much. I would love if people have a better list. I'd
Love to hear it.
love to share them with you. I really would. Now back to the Department of Justice. The problem with spitting numbers like this out when you say nearly 70% of the population is black, so obviously they're going to be pulled over more often. What I'd like to know is what is going on in those interactions that leads to the end result. I don't think it's fair to just automatically assume that just because this percentage of people, well, what did that percentage of people do? That's a big thing you're leaving out.
Yeah.
Like if the people getting pulled over always have an attitude of fuck you, who are you to bother me? That is going to result in the end being not good for you almost all the time.
But isn't it perhaps a chicken or the egg type situation where you
Perhaps.
go, hey, they're like that. They have that attitude because they've been pulled over for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. No, I know. And it's hard
right,
to
raw numbers don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, they don't. But you know,
But
like
without
you
different
said-
numbers in front of us, how can we reasonably say that that's not what it is? We suspect that there's an agenda by the administration for sure. Sends Eric Holder himself out there during Obama does sends him out
in
there
his
during
last 2 weeks of holding that office.
yeah during the whole conflict. And of course, we knew the standard was such that they were never going to criminally prosecute Aaron Milson, with federal charges. And we saw what happened with the state stuff, but we knew that this would do something because you have a citizenry that's feeling wronged, you're feeling, put upon, and they needed some sort of quote justice out of this. And so this is a way of saying, hey, the system's fucked up and we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, not to get all political here, but don't you find it interesting that they send the top dog, Eric Holder, for this? But remember that ISIS uniting thing they did in Europe, and they didn't send anybody over there, Secretary of State or anything like
France
that.
or whatever.
Yes, dude.
For Charlie
Isn't
Hebdo.
interesting they send the top dog here domestically? But
Yeah. Interesting priority,
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's funny, I've got the news on all day, and you're seeing the same cast of characters that you saw while all the Ferguson shit, all the opportunists coming in. Michael Brown's attorneys are all over the news again, giving
Is it
interviews.
Crump? Benjamin
Crump, I heard Crump, and the heavier set guy, talking all about it. Same bullshit that they were doing before. But it's funny, you keep hearing over and over about how we need this open and honest dialogue. Now that we know this is fact, and there's this divide, as if we didn't know there was a divide in the country that's been there for 10,000 years, but acting like we need this open and honest dialogue. But it seems to me that anytime anybody says anything that doesn't go along with your talking points, you're just deemed a racist anyways. Like, you can't, how do you possibly make any headway?
Yeah, nobody's willing to move an inch
And concede on anything.
Yeah.
When I think it's a valid argument that you go, 95% of all young African-American males are killed by other African-American males. Like, how is that racist to point that out? And why isn't that worthy of the discussion? To go, you're worried about this minuscule amount. Now, I'm not saying that black people don't get looked at or pulled over more, but when you're talking about the real heavy
problem
in the country, there's some serious statistics that back up, like, yeah, there's real problems that I'm not afraid to look at, but can we all take some responsibility for what's going on here? You can't just point to racist cops and say they're the root of all that's evil with the country and the black population. Like, there's a real, it's a legitimate question to go, you know what? Maybe it's not the best thing for a family to grow up without a father in the mix. And that the stats just point to that. And if that's not going to be part of the discussion, how do you get ahead with any of the other stuff? If you're not willing to acknowledge that, if that's just racist, you're racist for saying that. How dare you? You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just going to spin in another circle, and it's just going to be pointing fingers at everybody, and you don't get anywhere.
Oh yeah, it's going nowhere. And 2 years down the line, they'll look at this as a missed opportunity to talk about the real crux of the issue.
Yeah, the ills of society.
It's like, no, it's here. Everybody talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it. Now we got some stories here.
Yeah, and hey, before we get to those, I should mention that this segment of the show is brought to you by Helm Law PC. Do you have questions about divorce, or do you need a change in custody? Is your ex not paying child support? A legal issue involving your family can be frustrating and painful. Helm Law has the experience necessary to explain your rights and navigate the court system, which can make all the difference. Helm Law takes the time to listen to their clients' needs and implements the best strategies to ensure your rights and livelihood are preserved. Call them at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
Nice. I saw an email from someone who I think got in some trouble, like a Dewey or one of those, and was like, should I call someone like Helm to blah, blah? Yes. I will tell you, yes, you should. Trust me, you don't want to go into court by yourself and handle that thinking, I can't afford a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
The payoff is in the fact that you're paying that money to a lawyer. And even though so many of those things are mandatories, you will get fucking hammered without an attorney there to represent you.
You're right.
So
Helm came up again in email. It was funny. Somebody was dogging him for picking those little tiny water bottles. you know those little tiny, what are they, like 6 ounces or something?
Yeah.
Plastic water bottles, and they were like, yeah, it was in Helm's office, and here's the water bottle he offered me, and he took a picture of it. What the hell? And there's like a name plate. You can like sign your name on the thing, hey, this is my water bottle. So you don't
that's
get it mixed up. It's like, dude, I'm gonna be done with this in 2 gulps. Do I really need to put my name on this? So he was openly dogging Helm.
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure Helm took it with a laugh.
If he likes this show, I'm sure he found the humor in that as well. Anyway, did you see Curt Schilling?
Oh yeah, this is a good story, right?
Yeah, he posted a message on Twitter, probably his first mistake. Anytime you go on Twitter and gloat about anything, not that he's gloating, he's just a proud father.
Former Red Sox pitcher, by the way, Phillies Red Sox.
Yeah, hero.
Yeah,
the bloody sock game.
The bloody sock.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, hated by New York and the Yankees. So
yeah, well, his daughter is going to college, and he basically posted that she's going, what was the college? Salve Regina University.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
I'm not familiar with it either. But of course, as soon as he says, hey, congratulations, she's going to blah, 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 people just started, like the bullies and the trolls jumped on it and started pounding it. And he lashed out at the trolls, identifying the people behind some of the most vile messages and posting a lengthy blog about the cyberbullying and social media. He posted Wednesday that she was headed to this university. After that, tweets with the word rape, bloody underwear, and pretty much every other vulgar and
fisting, all
defiling
kinds of
word. Yeah. Just, I mean, isn't that kind of the game with Twitter in a sense? And not that it's right, but that's kind of what Twitter does. It's just a nasty place where that shit lands. It's very easy to just hurl insult at people from behind.
Hey, you're anonymous, man.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
So anyway, some of these guys, the ones that were the fisting and the worst of the worst, he looked up who they were and did a little research on them and found out who they were and then posted. So some guy was tweeting under the Sports Guru, and he's like, the Sports Guru? Yeah, he's a DJ named Adam Nagel.
Oh!
DJ is a bit strong since he's on the air for 1 hour a week on Brookdale Student Radio at Brookdale Community College.
That's awesome.
How do you think that place feels about this stud representing their school? You don't think this is going to be a nice compilation that will show up every single time this idiot is Googled for the rest of his life? What happens when a potential woman he's after Googles and reads this? The other clown, he's VP of the Theta Psi fraternity at Montclair State University. I gotta believe if Theta Psi is cool with a VP of one of their chapters acting like this, I'd prefer to have no one I know in it. Also, does anyone attend Montclair State have a student handbook? If so, can you pass it along? Because I'm pretty sure there are about 90 violations in this idiot's tweets. Schilling also he was talking about the trolls' behavior, saying their ignorance and pathetic lack of morals or of any integrity is astounding. But I have to ask this. Is this even remotely okay in any world at any time? Worse yet, no less than 7 of the clowns who sent vile or worse tweets are athletes playing college sports. This is a generation of kids who have grown up behind the monitor and keyboard. The real world has consequences when you do and say things about others. We're at a point now where you better be sure who you're going after. What these kids are failing to realize, what this generation fails to realize is this: everything they've just said and done, that is out there now forever. Forever. It can, and in some cases will follow them the rest of their lives. And as far as those kids go, Brookdale Community College said in a statement that the student involved had been suspended, while the Montclair student is a recent graduate who has now been fired from his job as a part-time ticket sales guy for the Yankees. So,
do you disagree with what Schilling did?
I don't know. It's hard because I understand how Twitter is, and I get that if you post something out there, you're going to, more times than not, you're going to get people that are just giant fuck yous.
And he's a public figure, you know.
He is.
He can't have rabbit ears about this shit.
And here's where it becomes hard for me, Jay, because I have a feeling I know how you're going to feel about this. And as a father who's going to protect his daughter at all costs, I have a feeling how you would react if someone started posting shit like that about your daughter. At the same time, I don't know. I can see how a father would do that, but I kind of like the idea of being able to say something without people losing their jobs and losing, you know what I mean? And that's a catch-22. What are you going to do? Do I defend these fucking clowns? I hate them as much as Schilling does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know what? You have to
like
let
the
that
Wild
shit.
West nature of it.
Well, you just have to let that shit go and understand that that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, but you don't. He just proved it.
I like it, man. I like that Schilling would come out. This fucking tard, an hour and an hour DJ a week at a student.
Yeah.
I like that Kurt. You know what? You're right. It's a weird thing because it becomes this weird thing of do you give them credence? Do you go to every single person? You're gonna have rabbit ears, like Jay said, to every person that's gonna go out there and say shitty stuff. But on the same hand, when you're a guy like Kurt Schilling who has, you know what? Who cares? He's got the fucking money. He's got the.
No, he doesn't have the money.
He doesn't?
No, he went bankrupt like a year or two ago.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he invested in a lot of video games,
Okay,
I think,
well,
that he got into and lost a shitload
That's
of money.
my bad. I assumed that he was kind of.
He might be building it back up now, but yeah, he's had some real financial
Okay, well, I
issues.
didn't realize that. But either
Allegedly.
Okay, well, either way, the concept of him looking up some of these guys and seeing who they are. You're right. It's a weird thing because it's like, is it freedom of speech, or should we be able to just say whatever we want on Twitter? You know, no, I don't. I guess
it's not a freedom of speech issue. Again, freedom of speech protects you from the government coming in.
No, I know that. I'm saying, but like whether he should be able to get fired because of what he said on Twitter. I don't know.
And we're seeing it time and time again. So obviously you can be that. And I think that's where the problem lies for me, because it doesn't feel like free speech if those consequences are that you lose your job. And I understand what you're saying, Jay. The government won't come after you for your speech. But if every guy that turns you in and tattles on you, that just didn't used to be the way. And this is a new territory we're in. So,
but it's on the same end. And the same end, if he tweets that out, Kurt Schilling has the right to find out who this guy is. And say hey, you know what? This isn't the sports guru. This is Eric Fate, whoever, you know, and that's his right.
I'm 100% behind Schilling on this.
Are you? Yeah, I figured you would be.
Fuckers. I mean, there's consequences. You know, you want to sit there, sure, hurl it out there. Go ahead. You can say it.
You're not going to go to jail for it.
Fisting, though.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what? It's, you know.
Yeah, fucking vile assholes. You know, all he does is congratulate his daughter for going to college, and it ends up being conversation about, I'm gonna fist her, and you know,
hope she gets raped.
Come over here, CUM, all this bullshit. Fucking losers. I don't have any problem with that. And if a school wants to kick the kid out or an employer wants to fire him, I've got no problem with that either.
Yeah,
you don't have to put up with that behavior.
Yeah,
it's at will employment, presumably. Get rid of them.
Yeah. It's weird because
it speaks to your character for sure.
It's too bad.
What kind of guy are you?
To me,
sit there and throw that shit out at people, innocent people, innocent texts. They weren't in any way attacking them.
Yeah.
This guy just throws out a Twitter, not a text, a tweet.
Would you feel differently if he said, my daughter's going to Salve University. Thank God she's not going to that shithole Montcalm University. And then if students from Montcalm said those things.
No,
would that change
vile.
things?
It's ridiculous. In a sense, in these words.
I know, I gotta stop saying that.
He's inviting a bit of, conflict.
Yeah.
But And I say to Schilling, you can't do that and expect not to get hit back with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, man, this example, there couldn't be a more innocent thing he throws out there and he gets hit with that. I've got no problem with it.
It's weird too, because Kurt Schilling, of all people, Like Kurt Schilling is nothing more than an athlete, Hall of Fame caliber athlete who doesn't go out of his way to shit on people. It's not like he's a public figure who's made a living being a big mouth about stuff.
I think he's an outspoken conservative, so I think he ruffles feathers that way.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think of him as like controversial though.
Yeah, I think he is a little bit. I think he's stepped out.
Like a Barkley is,
in
a sense.
Yeah, more political than Barkley though.
Yeah.
More right.
You know,
right
dude,
side.
honestly,
Not that matters, as if these people are tweeting him because of that.
this is the thing. It's that really fucking sucks, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be weird about it, but this to me, the thing that sucks about society is in this thing right now. Like, I think Twitter in a way is awesome because Twitter is this thing that created that. Like, I have friends, you can tweet at actual celebrities, and I have Ty is a big golf fan, and he's had conversations with PGA golfers, not long ones, but on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it is really cool. And it's cool that you maybe can have this connection with people and can't, the fact that it's just, we just say, well, that's how it is. There's going to be trolls. It's bullshit, man. I don't understand it.
Yeah. What's the psychology?
Is
what's
it?
the
Why
psychology of the troll? We've all had our trolls, It's like, what is that?
I don't
Like
know. I don't understand it at all.
You
because
want
I
a person to personally
and now we
interact
just kind of
with
say,
you?
oh, well, it's okay. What is the benefit then to a person? It's kind of cool that Kurt Schilling could do this, and maybe once in a while you could maybe get a favor, from Kurt Schilling or something. A retweet or something.
Retweet him, you son of a bitch.
Right, exactly. And it's like, so we have to fucking take it and just turn it into, now this is my opportunity to just, I'm gonna fucking talk about fisting his daughter, and then and the problem is then people like you sit there and talk, and not you, but I mean we sit there and just go, well, that's the nature of Twitter. That's bullshit. Why is that the nature of Twitter?
Well, it is,
but
there's no pulling
bullshit.
it back.
I know, but it's bullshit,
dude. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think you gotta realize who is saying that. You have to know that that's not anybody that you'd give a fuck about.
I know.
Clearly,
Complete fucking losers.
Totally. They are what they are, and I don't get it. The idea of having a debate with someone is even almost out of the question. It's like it just turns into a pissing match of who can say the most creative thing to fucking screw you, dick.
Honestly,
that's what it turns into, and it drives me nuts because I don't mind reading message boards and reading comment things.
Right.
And it takes one asshole to go, Obama, and it's like all of a sudden the whole dynamic is gone. That what started out as a decent conversation with back and forth all of a sudden turns into something totally unrelated, and it turns into a shit fest. And it's like, oh, that was great. That was great.
You know what's
What's the
funny?
point of that?
For real, I know this is gonna sound very corny, but how I treat my social networking, like even Twitter and Facebook, and it's gonna sound very old school, maybe, or corny, but I really do more the, like, not if you don't have anything nice to say, like, don't say it or treat people how you want to be. Like, I love going back and forth with people that are nice. If people want to say, like, oh, I love the show, or oh, you're at Garth Brooks, that's awesome. But honestly, I have no need. There are people I don't like in the public eye or in this or that.
Sure.
And I really just feel like, honestly, I just do it all positively, man. I don't get and I know, like I said, maybe that sounds corny and old school, but I don't get the concept that you would.
Neither do I. I don't either.
Kurt Schilling would come up and you would freaking sit there. I'm gonna
knowing that he's probably gonna see it if he
that's
tweets
the whole
about his
thing,
daughter,
man. That's the
especially
whole
with
thing.
Twitter. Twitter's
This guy's
different.
going to see this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you have this mechanism.
Well, that's your hope, right?
Before, you used to only be able to yell at the TV, I hate you.
Yeah.
Now you can actually have that guy see it.
Well, you want him
Holy
to see
shit,
it.
he's going to see this.
Yeah.
And then somehow I'm going to have this connection. It's a looser, shorter, smaller way of, it's the same idea of these guys who kill people who are famous, because they always want to have that connection. Whoever killed Lennon, I can't, his name
Mark
escapes
David
me.
Chapman.
Yeah. So forever, when you think of his assassination, it's Mark David Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sort of less than that, obviously, but there's some thing about that, I think, that here I am, a fucking loser in my mom's basement, but I can connect with that famous person.
Yeah.
And I can have him react to me. Holy shit, am I powerful? All of a sudden, I have some power in my life.
But it's such a faux power. It's not.
Dude, but these
They
are
don't care.
fucking
They don't see it.
losers.
Yeah, no, I know. You're right.
Absolute fucking bottom feeder pieces of shit with nothing going on in their life.
Yeah.
This is the only sense of power or control that they have.
Yeah, it seems weird to me that he makes note of the fact that like 7 of these guys are college athletes. Like, what is that about? That's not a guy with nothing going on in his life.
That's true.
It's a college athlete. Like, does it?
Wouldn't you
does
agree
it
that
get
most
removed?
of this, when
Oh,
you say
dude. Totally.
Yeah.
And I used to take offense at it. Like when people would email the Drew and Mike show. And,
Yeah, you
and,
mentioned that one guy where you met him. You're like, "You're John so
Yeah,
really,
really,
That's you?
and
so tough behind a keyboard.
yeah,
Look at you
and
now.
you with mustard stains all over your sweatpants that you wore to a bar gig, going come slothing up like, hey, I'm so, and like proudly, you probably recognize I'm blah blah blah. And it's like, kidding me? I've actually put thought into this fucking asshole. Are
Yeah.
you shitting me? This is the guy that's calling me fat or stupid on
Yeah.
something, and this fucking whatever this thing is that just slothed up is the guy. Like it takes all the sting away
Yeah.
from it. It was like, whatever, dude.
But to your point about the college athletes, that just goes to Schilling's overall point in his message back that wow, this whole generation for some reason,
yeah,
thinks that this is okay.
yeah.
Well, there's no,
And it's
there's
just-
no consequences. The thing
Yeah.
that they think that, oh, I can just say this stuff.
But do you think that it's the fact that they're commenting on Schilling's thing, or is it something where one asshole starts it and then it's a one-up contest? Because you see that one-up
could be.
contest go on, and all of a sudden it's pages down. It has nothing to do with Schilling or his daughter. It just turns into like a back and forth pissing match
What
about
are
who
you
can
doing
say
in
the
your
most.
day that you had the fucking time to do
but they
that?
are.
I
They're
know.
doing like crazy. I don't
You're
know.
right.
It makes I can't even fathom going on someone. I don't care how much I hate someone. Don Lemon on CNN, who I can't stand 90% of what comes out of his mouth. I can't imagine even going to his Twitter account, let alone writing him and going, I disagree, you piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
why? What would be the I just don't understand the point.
It's
But
certain psychology, man. I don't get it either. But
yeah. Anyway. But it looks like he's getting the last laugh. I'm sure he'll get blasted for all that
Sure.
too. But whatever. He got his point across. And I guarantee at least two of those trolls will think twice before doing that again. At least you would hope.
And do you have a problem with the company firing him, E?
You know, I really am
Tread
in between,
carefully, my
I'm in
friend.
between Walters and you on this one. I'm more on your side than Walt. No, I really, you know what?
You
I
don't think
don't.
they should be touched by the company? I mean, what if you had a small business?
No,
and
you know what?
found
I
out
don't.
that the guy that you're trusting, to do your books or something really important,
Yeah.
some aspect of your
Yeah.
business, or to talk with clients, to be that face of your company. That's what he did. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think you have the right to go get the fuck out of here, man?
Yeah.
That's-
You obviously you have the right. You have the right to do that, as we've learned from you.
But
because
don't-
the sky's blue.
But don't you think that that's appropriate in that
Well,
instance?
it's hard, Jay, because I always put it into context of what we do. And I feel like we say shit in a joking manner all the time. And sometimes it's offensive, whether it's like, Jose, Jose. Like those are stereotypical things that people would find offensive. And if every time we said something, we had to worry about losing our jobs and people coming after our jobs, like that sucks. I hate what it's done to the industry that I loved and worked in for 17 years. I hate that it turned into this thing where every little guy who takes offense, doesn't matter whether it's horrible shit or just minuscule stuff. The minuscule stuff gets you blown out. So that's the problem I
The
have.
difference
But
with
how do
what-
you have one without the other? You know what I'm saying?
Is though that you're saying I don't want to be criticized for jokes I made. I agree with that. I mean, that's tough to be, to have somebody judge your character on the fact that you're doing comedy in
Yeah.
a large respect. But this guy's freaking
Just being a
attacking,
dick.
just being a complete fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Broom his ass.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike, broom him.
No, dude,
you don't want him running your company.
you're right. I don't want him running my company, but let's be honest. He's selling tickets part-time for the Yankees. It's not like he's the CEO and anybody,
All the more reason.
yeah. But here's the question, Jay. Where do you draw the line? If going Jose and Jose B and all of a sudden people want you fired. They don't want you to apologize. They want you fired. Like if I said something horrible about we should murder all the blah blah blah. Yeah, then I agree that you know what, fucker, there's a line but where do you draw that line? It becomes very gray.
It's very individualized. Whoever's the decision maker gets
Who's
to draw
paying
that
the money?
line.
Who's
Yeah.
paying the money?
Who's making the
If we
judgment?
started
Hey,
having sponsors and those
is Walters worth this or isn't he? You
Yeah.
know, and you
Don't
do that.
lump me into the Schilling people, you fucker. Saw what you did there.
No, it's very subjective when it comes to that. And look at me. I'm sitting there on this thing, being honest and saying shit and having opinions, making
Yeah.
similar jokes to you. If I go out and try to get a certain job with a certain firm,
Yeah.
I don't blame them if they look back at this and they listen and they go, this isn't the kind of guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I am who I am, and
Yeah. And I think that's why there's so much. I think that's why people end up liking the personalities here, because if you listen to with any regularity to this, it's like people wonder, like, how do, if you took E at face value with some of the stories he's told on the air, you would go, he's a fucking monster. He's a nightmare. But when you listen to the whole, and take it in context of what it is, it's a lot easier to go, you know what? They're likable guys. They're good people. They're fucking around and they're having a good time, but deep down they mean well. And I think that comes through. Whereas with a Twitter, you got 140 characters to ruin your fucking career.
You're right, man.
And there's no context. There's no inflection in voice. You lose all that. And so it's very easy to take that out and just go, you know what? Fuck this guy. We don't have to put up with this. And so in that respect, I agree with you. Like if I was sitting in the position calling the shots, hiring and firing, would I want that guy? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, this is a cautionary tale then.
Dude, I've already sealed my fate, man. If this stuff, are you kidding me? I'm either
you're all in, baby, all the chips, middle of the table.
I have very often told my friends I'm either going to be.
Oh no, you guys have all sealed your fate. Let's be honest here. We all have.
I've often said the phrase to my friends: I'm either going to be fucking 40 and still living at home, or I'm going to be doing this and making money. I mean,
Mike said, we shoved off from that island and we're in that rowboat and we're looking for land.
Hey, the fact is, for people that are on the fence with advertising with a show like this, it's working.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing. Ask Steve Gabara what he thinks of his advertising with the Detroit Cast. He'll tell you. And that's just the fact of it. So if you think like,
oh God, they're company, man. We're not talking about someone going to the local Coney Island and they're getting a burger and fries.
The fact is, people are listening to the show and going to his store and going, the Detroit Cast sent me here, and that, like, at the end of the day, what more can you ask for?
And that's when Jay Salk talks about when they'll weigh out who, if Jose and Jose B racism is worth it. If people are buying cars because of it, they'll probably weigh out that it's okay.
Nothing racist about Jose or Jose B. When I listen back to that segment, you're going, it's so racist. What is racist about that?
If you said, kill Jose, damn Mexican.
You're right.
That would be racist.
You know what I thought was
saying Jose and Jose B is.
I will say the only thing was where you said, are you going to throw me in a dumpster? I guess it's better than the Mexico. That's the only thing that goes,
Well, you know what I thought
I love Mexico, by the way. I've been to Mexico. It's gorgeous. They've got some problems right now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Jay, I think at the time in my mind, what was more, Jose wasn't racist because the Jose name is cliche. I think in my mind that that the other kid would just be Jose B. Like, I guess, like how.
Nothing racist.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. And then we got a story that Jay, you brought in yesterday, and we just didn't end up getting to it. But this guy, and I'm not all that familiar with him, I'll be honest with you, but Jordan Leopold.
Sure, you heard the name.
Yeah, Columbus Blue Jacket defenseman. He's been there for the past season, and his family is still back in Minnesota. His 11-year-old daughter. Did you hear about this, E?
No.
This one got around the last couple of days. So I'm surprised you haven't heard about it.
Yeah, me too. Jordan is the daughter's name. She's 11 years old. She wrote an open letter to the Minnesota Wild coaches asking that her father be traded.
To be closer to them because they're living in Minnesota. Isn't that hilarious?
She says, Dear Minnesota Wild coaches, my name is Jordan Leopold. My dad is Jordan Leopold, one of the Columbus Blue Jackets, defenseman. Well, my dad is very lonely without his family. We are living in Minnesota right now, and I am lost without my dad, and so is my mom, my two sisters, and my brother. My dad is on a team with young guys and is very lonely and is not playing.
They love that.
She's 11.
I know.
You might be right. You might be right.
Probably like in the locker
room. Dad's like, what? She did what?
Fucking young guys.
The time of my life. I'm surrounded by all these young guys. We're out at the bar every night. This is awesome.
Right.
Go home to 4 kids. Are you shitting me?
Yeah. I'm loving it, dude.
Yeah. She says he's lonely and is not playing because the Jackets got him because they needed a D-man. It has been since November, and we cannot take it anymore. Well, to get to the point, the Wild have not been winning games, and you lovely coaches are most likely mad about that. But your team needs some more D-men. So can you please ask the Jackets if you guys can get him? Thanks. Love, Jordan Leopold.
Whoa. For one, just real quick, Columbus is in 13th in the in the East. Minnesota's in 7th. So Columbus isn't in the playoffs and Minnesota is. So she's just
dogging Minnesota for losing games.
Yeah, she just said Minnesota hasn't been winning games.
Well, she's saying my dad can help.
Yeah,
I need
he
a
can
D-man.
Help where? They're already in the playoffs. The other team isn't. So he's on a team that sucks.
Yeah, but being 7th in the playoffs is versus 2nd or 3rd, you know, maybe
She's
I don't
making
know
an argument.
why would you want to
she's
break
biased.
don't fix broke what's fixed or whatever.
Well,
Well,
say that again. Wait, let's finish this thought. Why would you want to do what? Come on, into the mic. Up, into the mic.
I said don't broke what's fixed.
Why would you want to broke what's fixed?
You wouldn't want to broke what's fixed.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I wouldn't say that being, 7th seed in the playoffs is exactly fixed.
Well,
I think you're always
13
looking for help.
A lot better than
Yeah.
13.
Understood. But she's saying, hey, my dad's a piece over here on this 13th team. Why don't you bring him over?
Yeah.
He's a good D-man.
Yeah, I could see Sweet Pie doing that.
Do
Dude,
it.
Columbus is way out of 8th place in the.
They're sellers. It's
Okay.
the NHL trade deadline
Okay,
2
you're
minutes
right.
ago.
Right.
And with 20 minutes left on the trade deadline, the Minnesota Wild picked up Leopold.
No,
Yeah.
I hate happy endings.
You of all people hate happy
I
endings? Are you
know.
kidding me? Isn't that your goal every time you
I
go
hate
out to get a
emotion-
happy ending?
I hate emotional happy endings.
All right, fair enough. They traded him for Justin Falk and a 5th-round pick. According to the Wild, the trade is something of a happy coincidence. They say the letter was written in early January and found its way to social media this week. The GM of the Wild said they actually had no idea about the letter until after the trade was
You know
made.
what? I did see this a few times on Facebook, and honestly, I didn't see who it was posted by. I think people were just sharing it, and I thought it was just some idiot sharing some letter from their kids, so I never read it.
There you go.
I'm
That's why you
sorry.
didn't see it. Both of us were surprised you, of all people, hadn't seen it.
That's why I didn't see it.
And then lastly, Michael Jordan is the most recent guy to join the Billionaires Club.
Wow,
Jordan
man.
is a billionaire.
Damn.
God, can you imagine? I actually would have thought maybe he would have been a billionaire already, just in the Jordan
you're
brand
big,
name.
Yeah, you're big close to the whole Jordan thing. I guess that wouldn't have occurred to me that he was that rich. God, I
Dude,
wouldn't.
they
have
put
thought
out
he
a
was
new
billionaire.
pair of shoes every
Must be
week,
freaking nice.
and
Ah.
they've been an iconic shoe since the Jordan 1.
Yeah, when was
In
that?
the- in
86 or something?
Yeah,
87?
86, 87, 85. I mean, they've just been a humongous seller.
Is that the first product to put an athlete to that really? It has to be, right?
It was one of the big ones.
I'm
Wasn't it?
yeah,
sure.
he
Other,
was
I
one
mean,
of
there
the
were other
first
product
shoe-
endorsements, but that really took off.
For sure. Yeah. You think of the Spike Lee Mars commercials
Yeah.
with Jordan. But yeah, him having his own shoe, and then it morphed into the, because those were just Nike Air Jordans, but now he's got the whole Jordan brand, which
Yeah.
puts out all those shoes. We've done those stories before
Yeah.
about the
Nobody had
Jordan-
a shoe before him, right? He was the first
No, didn't
guy to have a shoe.
Magic or Larry didn't have a.
most of those guys had like,
I think they had their colored Converse. I remember
Yeah.
Magic wearing like the purple and gold and white
Ah.
Converse, but
Yep.
they weren't like Magic shoes.
yeah, no, dude, that's an interesting question. I don't know if he was technically the first, but no doubt the biggest.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's tried to do it since. I mean, and everybody's got their own shoe now.
You know what's interesting is
Everybody.
like, what if they were different colors? Don't you think that red and black really played a role in the early success of those?
Probably.
Those look sweet. you
Yeah,
know?
they did. Yeah.
What if they were purple and gold?
Yeah.
Would that have taken off? What if they were?
Well, they remedied that later and started putting out different color schemes
Okay.
instead of just red and
But
black.
to really grab and take hold.
Yeah, if he would
those
have
are
played
so
for
badass.
the Pistons when they were teal
yeah,
and put out a teal
right.
shoe, yeah, and of course it wouldn't have. But yeah, having that red and black and
Just
white.
the right time, the right guy, just the right
Yeah.
design. I think a lot
Mhm.
played into that, and he's taking it all the way to the bank, man. Millionaire or billionaire.
Where do you think he got most of that money from? Like his biggest salaried year in the NBA, I think, was like $2 million.
Jeez,
Really?
I think so. Yeah. At one point it was. I mean, he might have gotten a bigger
Really?
contract towards the end.
Fuck.
I think he never made more than a couple $1 million a year
He
playing for
was
the NBA.
so sweet, dude. But you know what? I totally overvalued him because I watched him play.
Yeah.
When you watch LeBron, it's like LeBron's better.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
No matter how many titles he wins?
Yes,
You think so?
I do, man.
Jordan was just so clutch.
he
LeBron
was
is
clutch.
dominating.
He was clutch.
I think I take. I don't know,
Dude, that's
man.
wow. I've never even thought
And
about
then
it
you
really,
hear all
but-
the old timers. Oh, Will,
Yeah.
Well,
the Iceman, all this shit, and you're like, that's no way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Jordan. I'm watching him play. Nobody could be better than this. And you just kind of
You
see how
re-
that.
you
I
think-
do. I think LeBron's better.
Yeah, LeBron is so
Fucking
one-on-one
mutant, man.
dominant. Yeah, mutant.
The
Um,
size, the strength, the speed. He's,
Jordan was on a dominant team with great role players and won. And you saw
he was a
what
better winner. He definitely had something within him that
Mhm.
drove him and clutch, no question.
Yeah.
But just in terms of
Did you ever see him play
yeah,
live?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It sucked. He only scored 18 points tonight. I saw him.
well, Joe D was probably covering him, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
He
probably
was
right.
the only one with any success against him
Remember that
during his
cover?
prime.
Wasn't that him on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
Yeah,
Or was that Aguirre? No, that was Jody, right?
checking him.
Checking him. Yeah.
And who can forget that shot he made against the Cavs? Remember that?
oh yeah,
Just
oh yeah.
floating away. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That call, dude. It's
Classic.
classic. Man.
Is that the sidestep one and then
Yeah.
fade away?
Shut on New York?
Yeah.
He's moving sideways. And you
Yeah.
see that shot.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I guess you're right. You know what? I think the thing is, you're maybe, I don't know if player wise, or maybe LeBron is better, but man, it's
Yeah,
all
there's
about the
something-
clutch to me, though. And that,
But
some
you
people
think
just have that.
Yeah, who would you rather have on your team in their prime? That's a
Jordan.
different argument.
Right. Okay. I gotcha. Jordan.
That's a
for me,
good
that's
question.
second. Unquestionable.
but when you think about the times, like Joe Montana wasn't everywhere. I mean, he was in that era. You know, with football players, they weren't, they do a speed stick commercial here or there, or the Gillette foam commercials, remember, were big, or the Miller High Life ones that players would do.
Yeah, there
But
was some-
Jordan was the first one
Totally.
that I remember anyways, and we could be wrong. There could be someone that we're not thinking of, but Jordan really got that mass appeal with McDonald's and Gatorade.
Yeah.
that you see now with
Haynes,
everybody.
is it? Yeah, he
Haynes
still does.
jockey. Did he jockey for a while, or was it just Haynes? Just Haynes. But he's kept those sponsors forever.
That's what's weird. I don't understand how he's. I mean, I get it. Obviously, it must be worth it for them. But in a way, to me, to think that he still does commercials for Haynes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, who?
Total
Why?
old man, looks like his dad.
Right,
Yeah,
this
just
is-
bald
yeah.
and chubby. And,
He stopped playing in 1998.
yeah,
Right?
it's incredible.
Like it's 2015, and he's on a Haynes commercial,
Just
and you're like,
branding,
Yeah.
dude.
I'd love to know the real story with Jordan and his dad,
his dad's
know,
murder.
his dad's murder, and there have
him
been
going
rumors.
to the MLB.
Yeah, the
All of
rumor
that.
about his gambling and stuff, that he was exiled for
I mean, there's no
a
doubt.
year or two. Yeah,
that he
there's
was-
something there. Like, for a guy to walk away
Mm-hmm.
with how many 3 titles at that point.
in a row, and
Yeah.
they had no teams at that point. Remember, that was like there wasn't even a question to me going into those seasons. They were just going to win. I mean, and when he came back, they won the next 3.
Yeah.
2 3-peats with only mishap in between them and betwixt, if you will, Jay. And then even in those ones, didn't the Bulls make it to the finals against Houston? I don't know if it's both times.
It's
but
possible, yeah.
I think
they were
they-
still really good.
I don't remember.
Scottie Pippen leading the team.
Mm-hmm. It was Jordan's ownership. They say this shocked me. His Nike brand brought in an estimated $2.25 billion in 2013. How much do you think he earned of that?
No idea.
90 million.
Huh.
Wouldn't you think that the guy whose name and likeness is on the brand would make more? I mean, 90 million is astronomical, but it
Yeah.
made $2.25 billion. He only gets 90 million of it. I would
Yeah,
think
but the other side of it, it's like look at what Nike is offering, what they're bringing to the table. The whole manufacturing, the whole distribution, the whole marketing, the whole.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Jordan, take your thing and go do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
What would you sell? If
yeah,
you look at it that way, you realize Nike is really the heart of the thing.
yeah, but is Nike on the
90
map?
million's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. No, I don't mean to poo-poo that, if you will, but 2.25 billion. Holy shit. That's what is the percentage on that? Yeah, I knew you. God. Yeah. Anyway,
I was wrong.
How
by
many
the way.
centimeters is that?
I was wrong, by the way. The Rockets. I knew the Rockets went back to back in that time, but it was one versus the Knicks and one versus the Magic.
Oh, I remember against the Magic. Yeah.
Oh,
My bad.
wait, was that
In
that a
90
young?
What?
That wouldn't have been a young. No, Shaq wasn't there then.
No, I think he was.
He was with
Was he?
Nick Anderson. I think he missed a bunch of free throws in a key
Shaq
game.
pretty much brought that team to the final. Wasn't
Yeah.
it not even a very good team? Shaq kind
Who
of.
was the other guy that?
Anthony Hardaway.
No, there was another like 7-footer or 6. What's his name? Was he there
On Orlando?
Yeah, on that Magic team was Shaq.
Don't know.
God,
Those stupid pinstripe uniforms.
Yeah.
Picture that.
yeah. It was Jordan's ownership with the Charlotte Hornets that
I
catapulted
forgot
him
about that.
into the billionaire ranks. It soared after Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers.
Yeah, from
His
our friend.
value- Yes, Jordan can thank me for his billions. You're welcome, Black Jordan. Lawrence Juice, please, post haste. We're celebrating Mr. Jordan's victory with $1 billion. Welcome to the club, sir. It's about time you made it to the club, sir.
There's some irony there.
I know. What do you think he feels about good old Don Sterling?
It's beautiful.
That team was valued at about $700 million. And then Don arrived, and then it sold for $2 billion.
Shit, man.
Oh, man. So anyway, welcome
Yeah,
to the club, Michael.
So Nick Anderson was the guy I remember just blowing free throws in that series. And then who you looking at as far as a center?
I was thinking
You had Shaq.
maybe he came later. Who was the monster? He didn't stay there. He left when Shaq
You're
left.
not thinking
Who was
George Miroslav, are you?
No.
All right. He
I'm
was
thinking
Washington.
of God damn
It's a white guy?
No. Black guy,
Oh.
beast, maybe even a Hall of Famer. Who is the other biggest name on the roster?
Oh, Howard. Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard, maybe.
Yeah.
I was
he,
thinking-
he came later. He,
Yeah.
He was way later though.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
He was like no,
I
he
don't
wasn't
even think
way
it's Dwight-
later.
I don't even think it's Dwight Howard. I'm thinking of someone else too.
I don't know even how to look it up.
I'll look it up in the break.
Okay.
Why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah, hey, just to close out this segment, though, don't forget about David Helm. Whether you're facing a divorce, child custody, or other family law issues, it is essential that you seek representation from an experienced family law attorney who is prepared to advocate for your best interest. Helm Law can help. Call them at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them that you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
All right, let's take a quick timeout, and we'll come back and talk about that blaming the victim in the rape case. And
That center for the Orlando Magic.
yeah, was it Anthony Hardaway? Is that who I'm
No,
thinking of?
dude, he was a guard.
Yeah, no,
He was one of the first really tall point guards.
that's after Shaq left.
Let's go to the break.
Yeah,
This
we'll go
is
to the
bad
break.
radio.
Yeah, it is. All right, we'll deal with all that
How
next.
you know, Jay?
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. Newsflash, we need your trade-in. Believe it or not, the spring market is right around the corner, and that means Zott Ford needs more pre-owned inventory. What's the best way to do that? Easy. Pay too much for the vehicle you are driving right now. We're paying up to 15% over Kelly Blue Book, regardless if you buy a new car from us or not. So bring us your trade-in and leave with a fistful of cash, only at Zott Ford and Holly. Check us out and our massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Wednesday with Mike and Jay. Tracy McGrady. I don't know why was that so difficult?
Because you were saying center, a big, tall center.
I just remember him being tall.
Dude, he's like
They're all tall, but
6'7" or something.
Yeah.
He's a
little
shooting
wee
guard.
man. He's a wee man.
Isn't he a shooting guard?
I was just trying to think. I kept thinking like Kelly or something, but it was Tracy. It was a female
Chick
name.
name,
That was,
yeah.
that was
Throwing it.
eluding me. Yeah, I don't know why that was so difficult. I'm sure there were people screaming at the recording going, Tracy McGrady
No,
is
you
who you're
misled
thinking of.
them. You,
I did.
You described the center playing alongside Shaq. It just didn't exist, Mike.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, too.
Oh, God.
I know. Well,
Let's take another break. We'll be right
come
back, folks.
Anyway, that's I think who I was thinking of. And on to other things. Let's see. Remember the girl, the only woman on George's death row?
Yes,
Kelly
about to be killed.
Gizendanner.
Very grimace looking. Just
She was the one I think that was ordering 2 Whoppers.
oh, that's the story. Yes.
Yeah.
Her last meal was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Burger King.
I know.
Come on, dude. There's not a better burger joint.
Yeah, I know. Or we got a filet from Morton's or something. I mean, 2 Whoppers with cheese, really?
You're about to die.
Yeah.
Give
She
me
had
a
a whole trough full of fast food. It wasn't just the Whoppers. It was,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
2 large fries
Milkshake.
and
Yeah.
God, gross.
Well, she got another reprieve Monday. She was supposed to be killed a week ago. Bad weather held up that execution. She got a
Why?
stay of execution because
Was
down
there
south they had a snowstorm.
Was there some sort of issue in the room?
Yeah. Don't they have a roof? Or
I know.
they do these injections outside? Do they? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people that were dying to get there couldn't get there, so they're like, just put it on timeout. Timeout. We got to see this pig go down.
Ooh, dying to get there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, now she got another stay of execution. Like I said, it was supposed to go down Monday night at midnight, and they said because the injection drugs looked cloudy. What? I know. Well, ring up a new batch. Wait till it settles. We got all night.
Or just put it in and see what happens.
Give it a shot. Pull out the gun. Who cares at that point? I mean,
This is just so absurd.
it is.
That would have to be the weirdest thing, though. You know what I mean? Like you're sentenced to death, and then they say, okay, it's gonna be Monday. They're like, bad weather. You know, that'll be a few weeks now, and then you know what I mean? Like,
And then you get word that the stuff that, oh, you've got another delay.
but it's
Really? It's been delayed? Why? Well, the drugs look cloudy.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, are you happy? I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah,
trying to be
you
weird,
must
but,
mentally
like,
be ready, right? She's going to get a second last meal, a third last.
I was
God
wondering
damn it!
if she took
That's-
one bite of that meal, you have to kill her.
Yeah,
If she took one bite of that Whopper, I want her on
that's
the
what
table.
needs to be determined here. Has she had 2 last meals already?
Oh,
And is she asking for a third?
Oh,
That
sure.
piece of
She
shit.
sure looks like it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I think that's post.
The petty cash drawer has to be empty at this point.
Yeah.
With all those Burger King runs, there's no way she can have a third last meal.
No.
But it just to
Is
me,
the,
just
is the
mentally
last
just be
meal
such
kind of fucking stupid to begin with?
It is. Why? What's the tradition? You know, just this last kind of respectful thing. You know, a man's last meal.
I mean, I could see offering them the last meal and then going, yeah,
too
right.
bad.
Too bad. Like,
Yeah,
that
you
would
want
be
that? You want
funny.
that?
I like
Yeah.
that tradition. That would be humorous. If you did it to every one of them, that'd be hilarious. A nice tradition to
I
start.
wonder,
But this idea of giving them anything they want,
dude. I wonder for real. Do you know, like, when does the last meal really happen? Like, in this day and age, are they really sitting down? Was she sitting down and eating her Whoppers and stuff? And then the minute she finished, they're like, okay, let's go.
I think
mean,
you should not be able to take a bite of that food until they start administering the drugs. Like, that's when you should be
gotta
able to
quick eat
start.
it.
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes. Go. You're going to go into full cardiac arrest. You're going to be foaming at the mouth any minute now. So go. And then, you know, then you can eat as fast as you can, whatever you want.
God, it is a weird thing, man. I've never thought about that. Why is there? It's like this additional marker of civility in the whole process.
Is that what it's
just
meant to
shouldn't-
be?
I think so.
it's gotta be right. I mean,
It just seems so outlandish. Like, this is someone who is put on death row because of the heinous shit they've done. This woman, if you remember, she killed her husband. At one point, she had a boyfriend on the side that she was banging.
how?
I don't know. She enlisted her boyfriend to kidnap, bludgeon, and stab her husband, Doug, to death while she went out dancing with her friends. And then she and Greg Owen torched her husband's car when it was over, leaving the dead man's corpse in the woods to be eaten by animals. Yeah. That's the woman we're giving whoppers to. They had 70,000 people sign a petition trying to get her to, because she's changed so much.
Yeah.
One of these.
Has she?
Yeah. Her lawyers mounted this big thing, enlisted the prison chaplain to attest to her life as a changed woman who helped other inmates and prison staff. The spiritual transformation and depth of faith that Ms. Gizendaner demonstrates and practices is a deep and sincere expression of a personal relationship with God. It is not superficial religious experience.
Is that bringing the husband back? Her changed experience?
Hey, man, pay your debt. You know, you may be a changed person, but
yeah, that
And
doesn't
what's
your
change
sentence?
what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when they say to not kill her, again, I don't get it. I get that it's a human thing to fight for life. But if the petition is just to not kill her on Murder Row, but she's gonna still end her life in jail, I don't get why people would even want that. I don't get why people fight to not at that point. No, I'm serious. I guess if you know you're gonna be killed. But,
yeah, you don't have much of a will to live. You really don't.
I think
It's small.
I think it's very easy too, and I've never been on death row, believe it or not. But I think if you're someone who's in prison for the remainder of your natural life, okay, even if you get that and not death row, I think it's very easy to turn into a very religious person, or turn into she's very helpful with other prisoners. It's like, well, yeah, she can't be running around on the streets murdering her fucking husband with a boyfriend.
Yeah, you're back into the ultimate corner in life.
Totally.
Right.
Does that shock anybody that it's like now that you're facing this brick wall for the remainder of time?
You're gonna maybe find religion.
You've found religion. You've also got yourself a GED.
Right.
You're helping clean up the kitchen, the mess hall. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, doesn't surprise me either.
Her daughter, of course, and that's the kind of the person you feel bad for, is the young daughter who lost her dad in this horrible way, is like, I don't want to lose my mom too, but it's like, sorry.
That is so weird.
It sucks, but it's what it is. And the guy that did the killing got 25 years because he turned on her.
Well, we know Jay wouldn't care, because if she killed the person, Jay would say,
Jay
call her
called on him.
Jay probably
absolutely.
pull the trigger.
I think of the victims. That's who I think about in that
You think of the
situation.
daughter in that scenario.
Yes.
All right, there you go. It plays out for
Well,
you.
hopefully those drugs become less cloudy and they can get on with it.
I know. What does that mean? Does she stay for a week, or do they just get a non-cloudy
how weird
version
would
and
that
do
be?
it? Let's go. Come on.
How
Clock's
weird would
ticking.
that be, Jay? You think?
To be
none of us-
mentally prepared. There must
none of
be
us know
something
we're
that
gonna-
goes
right.
through you, on that last day to prepare yourself.
You wake up. Imagine waking up and you're like,
Fuck.
I'm gonna die tonight, and then they kind of say, it might be another week.
Well, would it be worse if they told you at noon, or if it was like they're carrying you down the hall, they set you up at the table, and then they're like, God, this looks a little cloudy. Let's hold off for a minute. And then you're like strapped in, and it's like, what? Going back to my room? All right. That would be
You already
rough.
gave all your shit away. Think about that,
Yeah.
You're right.
Kiss your
you would've
girlfriend
signed
for the
up.
last time.
Yeah. Girlfriend.
How's she gonna have a man in prison?
Wouldn't you think that if you got to that point where they they're gonna kill you, then they reprieve you, wouldn't you do at that point, man? I don't know how easy it is to break out of prison, but aren't you gonna do anything you fucking kind of that?
Do you
point,
think
dude?
that pig is gonna break out of prison? How far do you think that's gonna get? Find her at the
You know what I
local
mean,
Burger
though,
King on the
right?
corner.
Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's the time when you want. Yes, I would agree with you.
I mean, if I found out if I'm sentenced to death and you know what's going down that night,
Yeah,
I'm
what are they gonna do,
doing
kill you?
Something. I'm gonna try something at them. I'm not just gonna sit in my bed twiddling my thumbs till midnight.
Yeah, but see, there's a whole other side to that that's trying really hard to make sure you stay in your bedroom.
yeah,
That's the part that makes it
Well,
difficult.
get the
it's
spoon
not like
out.
it's not like there's an open door at the end of the hall.
No, get the spoon out and start digging through the wall, right?
See, God,
That's how I've seen in the movies.
true.
They've done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, a couple of them in history have done it.
Well, not gonna do it if you don't try.
God, these stories are horrifying. We got an Indian student. This is back in 2012, and these people are on death row too. There was an Indian student violently raped on a moving bus in Delhi, died of horrific
Dude, I
internal
remember
injuries.
that.
Do you remember
yes.
that? Leslie Udwin is a filmmaker, and she spoke to one of the rapists on death row while spending 2 years making a film about the case. and she came away absolutely shocked by India's treatment of women. I was kind of shocked by this too. The details of the rape had led me to expect deranged monsters, psychopaths. The truth was far more chilling. These were ordinary, apparently normal, and certainly unremarkable men. And this goes back to December of 2012. This 23-year-old goes to see the Life of Pi movie with a guy, and they leave at like 8:30. They get on this bus. There's 6 men aboard the bus, 5 adults and a juvenile. The men beat the friend and then each raped the woman in turn before assaulting her viciously with an iron instrument.
Dude.
Yeah. Mukesh Singh, the driver of the bus, described every detail of what happened during the incident, while prosecutors say the men took turns driving the bus, all took part in the rape. In 16 hours of interviews, this guy showed no remorse, kept expressing bewilderment that such a fuss was being made about this rape when everyone was at it. A decent girl won't roam around at 9 o'clock at night. A girl is far more responsible for rape than a boy. Yeah, on death row, he's saying this.
Typical blaming of the victim.
Yep. Housework and housekeeping is for girls, not roaming in discos and bars at night doing wrong things. Discos? The disco's real popular in India.
Discotheque.
Wearing wrong clothes. About 20% of girls are good.
So
the other ones you just rape. They're just pieces of meat that you can rape and kill.
On the bus.
They're asking
if they're out past 8:30. Let's
and
they're
the
not
discos,
monsters, Jay.
hanging in the discos.
Yeah. People had a right to teach them a lesson. He said the woman should have put up with it. Leslie's film will be on the BBC 4 on Sunday, March 8th. She says when being raped, she shouldn't have fought back. She should just be silent and allow the rape. Then they'd have dropped her off after doing her and only hit the boy. The death penalty will make things even more dangerous for girls. Now when they rape, they won't leave the girl like we did. They will kill her. Before they would rape and say, leave her, she won't tell anyone. Now when they rape, especially the criminal types, now they'll just kill her. Death. I had a long and shocking list of injuries the young woman had sustained read out to him. I tried really hard to search for a glimmer of regret. There was none. It would be easier to process this act if the perps were monsters. For me, the truth couldn't be further from this. These men are not the disease, they are the symptoms. One of the guys I interviewed, Gaurav, had raped a 5-year-old girl, spent 3 hours filming his interview as he recounted in explicit detail how he had muffled her screams with his big hand. He was sitting throughout the interview. He had a half smile playing on his face, his nervousness in the presence of a camera perhaps, but that was it. At one point I asked him to tell me how tall she was. He stood up and with an eerie half smile indicated a height around his knees. Yeah. When I asked him how he could cross the line from imagining what he wanted to do to actually doing it, given her height, her eyes, her screams, he looked at me as though I was crazy. She was a beggar girl. Her life was of no value. Nice, huh? These offenses against women are part of the story, but the full story starts with a girl not being welcome as a boy from birth. This is kind of hilarious. If a boy's born, they pass out sweets to everyone, like candy, and if a girl's born, it's like, fuck, no candy for anybody.
No
candy for you.
Huge class issues over there. I mean, you think we've got class issues here. India's, that's a huge problem. Then you add gender to it, and the attitude my man had toward that little girl.
Yeah. If a girl is accorded no value, if a girl is worth less than a boy, then it stands to reason there will be men who believe they can do what they like with them. I spoke to 2 lawyers. This is what's really fucking disgusting, if you ask me. She interviews 2 of the lawyers who defended these guys, the murderers. In our society, we never allow girls to come out from the house after 8:30 in the evening with any unknown person. You were talking about a man and a woman as friends. Sorry, that doesn't have any place in our society. We have the best culture. In our culture, there is no place for a woman. These are the lawyers. The other lawyer, A.P. Singh, said in a previous televised interview, if my daughter or sister engaged in premarital activities and disgraced herself and allowed herself to lose face and character by doing such things, I would most certainly take this sort of sister or daughter to my farmhouse and in front of my family, entire family, I would put petrol on her and set her alight. This is my stand today. I still stand by that reply today.
How'd these guys get convicted with attitudes like that?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, you know what happened, and the reason this girl went over there to do this, to make this film on this, was the public outcry was so strong against these fucking guys. And in there, I guess they had really bad weather for the area, and they still came out in horrible weather and were protesting like, "Fuck these monsters."
Yeah, that was a worldwide
Culture
story.
change.
I remember that distinctly.
I don't know why I don't.
It was the internal injuries. It was the death due to internal injuries.
Can you
This
imagine
gang
that?
rape.
With an iron, what is it, like a bar?
Like a crowbar or something.
Oh,
What's wrong
God.
with these?
I just don't understand. Like, if you can hear a human being screaming in pain, like some people get off on that. You know, I just don't understand how you can hear someone being tortured.
Well, and it's so
essentially.
interesting too that you can imagine one individual monster wanting to do that, but the herd mentality of people, that these 5-6 guys could go through that together.
Yeah. And still act today on death row like, what's the hang up here?
Damn.
I mean, who do you blame? Do you blame them or do you blame the culture that's bred that? Because you're not born with that attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's taught to you over years, right?
Mm.
How many other people have been victimized that don't say anything? Like you said, she won't say anything. Let her live. She ain't gonna say anything.
Probably more than dozens, right? I mean, if he's, if that's his attitude, there's no way that,
They reminded me a lot of you, those guys, the way they were talking about how you
Please,
can't be
whoa,
friends with
please.
women. Like I saw just a lot of similarities there.
Please, dude, no, don't really, please.
Laughs at gang rape, that sort of thing.
Gang rape.
No, I'm not gonna
gang rape.
No,
I heard a chuckle, slight chuckle.
I agree. I agree on the okay. I guess I agree about the friendship. I guess.
All right. So you guys have more in common. It's a bridge. You're starting to bridge the gap between you and the guys in India. It's a start.
Dude,
we'll work on it.
come
We'll work
on,
on it.
dude.
It's a
Really,
start.
dude? Really?
It's
You have to do
I'm
this?
just saying-
No,
it's a
that's
start.
bullshit.
There's
that you
something
just,
there. Yeah, there's something there.
Fuck both of
We'll
you.
work on it.
Fuck.
We're not going to close this today. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a
I
day.
will. I'm not. I will. I would never, ever, ever, ever even consider doing anything that was
right.
in that story.
All right.
Ever.
Hey, I got to mention Zot Ford.
Of course you do. Of
We're
course
done
you
with
do.
gang rape. We're on to Zot Ford. They have it all. Not only do they give Detroit Cast listeners the best prices on new and pre-owned vehicles, they also have the best service deals in town. Right now, Zot Ford is offering all their friends from the Detroit Cast a $19.95 oil change special, which also includes a free brake and safety inspection. That's right. Just roll into Zot Ford, doing your best to avoid who? Big E.
Big E, yeah.
And his stinky-ass hair and clothes. Tell them the Detroit Cast sent you. Not only will you get a $19.95 oil change deal, they'll give you 15% off any additional service work you need done. Check out their deals and their massive inventory online at zotford.com.
SZOTT. Now, E, Jay's been telling you since the get-go.
Broadnet.
Cast it broadly. You never know what you're
Male,
going to attract.
female, whatever.
I'm not gonna ever go after males. So
It's like the guys catching fish out in the ocean. They set up the nets. If they were out there with a rod and a worm, you'd never eat seafood. They cast a broad net.
I will not. Yeah. No. Well,
She-male, whatever.
Whatever comes in. I mean, you got to take it all.
maybe you guys,
Sometimes
maybe
they
that's for
pick a
you guys,
crab
but
up
it's
in
not
that.
for me. Maybe it's for you guys, but not for me.
Well,
yeah,
Dan-
maybe it's for you, not for me.
Dan Perino has posted more than 40,000 flyers. 40,000 flyers looking for a chick, looking
Physical
for love.
flyers like you see on a
I do
telephone
like
pole.
this. I like this. I don't mind this.
He's
what's he
thinking
looking?
outside the box.
Yeah.
He's not going to Grindr or like things like that you'll do. He's going and he's going old school grassroots and nailing chick to a telephone pole, right?
Kind of like it.
I like it too. He's an actor and part-time
Never mind.
web designer. Douche immediately as soon as I read it. He's a part-time actor. Was like, yeah, it means you've never done anything anyone's
Yeah,
ever
we're
heard
fucking
of.
all
You're-
part-time actors. Can I fucking be a part-time actor?
Anybody can put that on the resume. You can't put I'm a part-time lawyer on your resume.
Right.
You actually have to have something. Anybody can go
Part-time actor.
Part-time actor.
I did those videos with my buddy. Fucking I'm
What have you
acting.
done? Well, I'm working on some things.
Yeah.
Nothing
you've probably heard of, but
little-
K-Dog does that.
Yes.
K-Dog.
K-Dog
I wanna
claimed to
see
be in
his
a
credits.
pilot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get a hold of that.
As a gay guy.
Yeah. Yes.
He played a
Now,
gay
how
guy. in
come
the
that
pilot.
doesn't get jumped on more?
Airline
That's what Jay
attendant,
said.
right?
Is that what he was? A gay airline attendant?
Yeah, some
Flight
like
attendant?
ticket attendant sort of guy
Yeah.
for an airline.
Yeah.
That's what he claimed. He claimed it was a nine series
8 episodes
thing. Yeah.
or something.
Come on, man. We got to get a hold of this.
Yeah,
shit.
we need to see it.
I
He's
agree.
acting like, I don't think I have. Oh, really? You
Bullshit.
You don't know.
Bullshit.
You're on the fence whether or not you have your debut acting in 8-part series. Really?
Dude,
you don't
that's
know if you have it. Bullshit.
That's
K-Dog is an asshole.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that son of a bitch enough. He's also down here doing a little podcast too, which
Yeah.
we're gonna have to
dive into.
Yeah,
Let people know where they can
interesting
hear it.
concept. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that someday.
Have you ever heard of anything like it before?
It's
Almost
original.
exactly.
Oh. Never mind.
Anyway, this part-time actor and web designer made a flyer with his picture and contact details with the words, looking for a girlfriend, and this is not a joke. It's been going great. I've had hookups with 118 girls, but the dating is a lot more than that. By hookups, he means sex. He's banged 118 girls from posting these
That's what he
flyers.
says.
Well, you gotta. I mean, if you're gonna believe a guy who would, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not.
He's
saying,
filming it though. He's got a documentary he's making too.
Yeah.
He got a ton of national media attention, so yeah, he kind of thinks he's the cat's ass now.
Oh boy.
Since he first got attention last August, he's made a documentary, written a short story, and is hoping to fund a reality show from his exploits. At that time, I just wanted to find a girlfriend. I had no idea. I built the flyer with a friend thinking that I would find one within a week. That wasn't the case. It just kept going and going.
See, you know, real quick, the only thing I hate when people do stuff like this is when they this notion that they're always pretending like, oh, I didn't think you would get this big. In this day and age of social networking and knowing how so many of these little things make it to Facebook and Twitter and become viral.
Yeah.
You know what? Just say your goal was that someone was going to find this. Don't.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
You posted 40,000 flyers and you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it'd last for a week.
I thought
Really?
Nobody would even pick up on it on social networking in any capacity.
Who are these chicks, by the way, who are seeing a flyer on a telephone
Right.
pole and calling 200 to 300 calls a day? This dude was getting. I couldn't get back to everybody. It was difficult. I've got back to everybody by now, but there's over 8,000 phone calls.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? You fucking see what? You're at the fucking Starbucks and you see this guy and you're like, oh, part-time actor, web designer.
No,
You know what?
you know what? Even
Full-time
worse.
douchebag.
Yeah, it's on the corner on a telephone pole next to the lost dog and
Mhm.
stapled on pink teddy bear for some roadside memorial.
no, I-
and
Yeah.
there's my man
Yeah.
advertise himself. And look at him. You know, he's a very average
Oh,
middle-aged dude.
Douche. Yeah.
I want to see really where most of them are. Like, I really do want to see. I don't know if you're saying that from when you. I'd really like to see where he really posted most of these flyers.
Yeah, are these 40,000 physically posted?
I think so, yeah.
It's got
No, but I want to see
right?
if they're like but you know what I mean. I want to see if they're like at Star or where does he live? Is he
He's in New York.
Okay, so he's in an area where there's a lot of foot traffic. Actually, like obviously you
Tons.
couldn't get away. You couldn't get away with it around where we are. I couldn't post them up in fucking Milford where no one's.
Yeah, that's true. He says, it's not really that I'm picky, although I see some of the same girls over and over again. They're just not marriage material. He's a real big dick, by the way, if you haven't picked up on that.
You know what? And the other thing is, dude, he's looking for a girlfriend. He says, oh, I really was just. He's hooked up with 118 girls. Not one of them.
Yeah, he's just looking for love,
Oh,
He's
okay.
just looking for love. A lot of sample platters while he's looking for love.
Okay.
And you couldn't find anything in the 8,000 calls you've gotten. A lot of
pretty picky, huh, son of a bitch?
A lot of girls get nervous around me on a date because of the celebrity thing.
Oh! You shut the fuck up, you. Oh! Celebrity, I didn't even fucking know who you were, dude, until you just started reading
They
this.
get nervous around him.
Dude,
They get nervous. They do.
Oh,
And then they just put out. They'll read all the articles on me on Google. They're just scared. They're not used to it, I guess.
Oh, I want to talk.
I walk down the street and get stopped 10 to 15 times a day for my picture.
Can we call? Is this number still
10 to
active?
15 times a day for
his picture.
Is this still active? Could we call this number?
There's this
Yeah,
flyer
I
right
don't
there.
know. We don't-
I don't know. Yeah, we could call him. Maybe we could call him off the air.
Right, yeah, I mean,
DanParino.com.
Is it on there? Because I thought what I saw was
Yeah, it's on there. I
websites
can
and
see it.
Twitters.
646
Serious inquirers only.
407.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean,
Despite insisting he's not picky,
4281.
he says he's looking for someone between the ages of 25 to 37 because he wants to start a family. Women in their 50s and late 50s want to date me.
How
And,
old
you know,
is he?
He looks like he's in his 40s at
Yeah,
least.
high 40s.
Yeah. Or
well, I don't mind the
50s.
20.
He wants 25 to 37.
I don't mind
Yeah.
that, but
But then he's a dick about it.
yeah.
Women in their 50s and late 50s want to date me. And, you know, that's not going to happen. I'll go on a coffee date, but not a hookup. I'm just not attracted. Asshole. I've had women call me telling me they're like 40 years old. I set up a date, and they're senior citizens. That's not cool. While initially he would take his dates out to dinner, it was costing him a fortune.
Yeah.
He couldn't swing it.
Oh, you mean his part-time acting?
Yeah,
Was he not
floating
getting
the bills?
got not getting enough money from the Screen Actors Guild or the
So now,
SAG?
so now he's just taking these pathetic women out for coffee and a rose. He's now taking his quest for a girlfriend global and says he loves foreign women as they're very uninhibited about their sexuality.
I thought it was just
This
about.
guy's just looking to bang chicks.
What
That's
is
all
what
it
is the attraction by chicks? Like who's responding to this?
I don't know.
You know, what's the thought process behind that? He's not rich. Sometimes we see these stories where, oh, I'm a millionaire
Yeah.
and I want to, you know, I'm this this prince with with Cinderella's slipper. Who fits it?
Yeah.
But this guy, just average Joe Schmo.
Yeah. Average nobody.
What's the attraction here?
Is it just as simple as I've seen that face before, so it's a celebrity type of thing? I mean, is it possible that
think
people
so.
just
This
see it enough?
asshole is getting stopped 10 to blink times a day.
So he
for-
says.
Right.
Who knows? But
And who the fuck are these people?
And it-
I'm forgetting
but
even the
in-
girls that are hooking up with them. The people who would stop and take a picture with him?
in fair, and he's full of shit, because if he's in New York City, Seinfeld can walk down the street in New York City and
Well,
almost go unnoticed.
Yeah, and
in a lot
he
of
looks
respects.
very average. You'd
Yeah.
never notice this guy.
Now,
He's
if
very unassuming.
If he's doing his own documentary and he's being followed around by a 2-person camera crew,
Yeah.
then you could understand where people would go, hey, what's going on? What are we doing? Oh, well, I'm this, and then he's playing up his part-time acting thing. And
Yeah.
He's probably not even a part-timer in that scenario.
But
But
what's the end game in these chicks' minds? Be the one?
good, I don't know.
Might be the one that wins this
girls are
thing?
fucking
What are you
stupid.
winning?
Who answers a fucking want ad for a date on a telephone pole?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who that initial person is. And then you go as far as putting out.
Who was the first? You're right. Even especially like the first, like kind of when maybe.
No, I can almost understand the first few because they're going, oh, that's charming.
different.
It's
Okay.
different. Look at this guy. He's just looking for a girlfriend. Looks like a nice guy. I'll call him, see what happens.
Look at this.
But then it becomes
asshole.
this thing.
Professional, experienced actor. Asshole.
Where's the part time on that, huh, Jay?
Yeah.
Why is the experienced part very bold?
Yeah.
What roles has he been in? I'd like to see.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. He ends it by saying, I'm changing the flyer to worldwide search. I don't care how long it takes. I'm getting kind of sick of American women. Women overseas are much more relaxed.
Jesus.
Is this dude the most hateable guy ever? He's hateable.
It just shows you, though, with some confidence and
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever, going for it. That
He's
kind of
a-
attitude just lures them in,
He's a lifelong New Yorker, so he's kind of got that, hey, hey.
You know what?
Chicks
I don't
want
care.
me.
You know what? I don't care. I would never. I would never want to douche out that much.
That is
Yeah.
very douchey.
It's super douchey. We talked earlier about, we mentioned earlier about Panu size. What did we say was that last study was the average? Was it a Sharpie?
I don't remember. Yeah, we were saying the Sharpie was the average.
Well,
And I
Well,
don't know.
start with
Can you
Jay
grab the,
and then go.
Can you
to-
grab the tape measure?
yeah, there's a tape measure in the.
It's a toolbox right in there, dude.
Well,
How toolboxes work.
there's been a
I
new
don't know.
comprehensive.
Hold on. He said, I don't know how toolboxes work.
I don't.
Shit.
You are a toolbox.
I just don't know manly stuff.
Yeah. No, we've established that.
Here,
There's a
give me
new comprehensive study among 15,000 men, and they discovered that the average length of the erect panus was a mostly meager. How big is that?
5 1/4.
5.16 inches.
Okay.
The average noose.
So
Why do they say
just
mostly
shorter.
meager? Why do they say mostly meager if it's the average length of the panus?
Yeah, you're right. If they're saying
Seems like a cheap shot. If they're calling the average
that's
cat
average, then
mostly meager, that doesn't make sense. When the average is flaccid, its length is typically 3.6 inches long and 3.66 inches around. They collected data from over 20 studies where they had their panuses measured using information from 15,000 men out of the United States, Europe, Asia, and Africa. So they probably, it balances out. You know,
How did they just ask for volunteers, obviously. Hey, do you want to take part in this study?
exactly. They said that the roughly 2.28% of the male population has an abnormally small panus. 2.28. That's
Okay.
it. Researchers.
What is defined? What do they define as abnormally small? The micro penis?
I would think it's got to be bigger than the micro. The micro is
Yeah,
just
the
a
micro.
freak incident. Like that. That's
Yeah.
that's
that
not
was
even fair. It's not even
basically
fair.
a bean.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Yeah, an overgrown bean. Researchers said they did not find a necessary correlation between race and size, nor a man's foot and penis size.
Yeah, you always hear that. Oh, look at the size of feet or hands, right?
Yeah,
Like big hands.
measure from
big
here to
dick.
here, and
Yeah.
that's They say that's bullshit. They acknowledge their results may have been somewhat skewed by the possibility that men who volunteer to be examined may be more confident in their panus size than the general population, which would lead you to believe, if that were true, which I would think, who's going to go in there with a 2-inch dick and be like, yeah, measure me?
Yeah,
So you would
see where I
think
lie.
that these people are going in very confident, thinking they're hung,
Yeah.
and
This is what you end up with, a Sharpie.
a Sharpie. A Sharpie's big.
Sharpie's average.
That's a good point. You're right.
Listen,
But he's right. If the assumption that if what they said was 5 point whatever, but they're also thinking that probably people that think they're hung are the ones going in.
Yeah, if it's a random, if they're just taking
But that-
volunteers, that means
Oh, wow, that's
no guy with a 3-inch dick is going in there going, measure this, check it out.
yeah, 'cause
You know, let's glory.
You might not know if it's
well, there must be, right? I mean, there must be people who did that because it ended up being a 5-inch.
Well, there's a couple J's that went in there, obviously, to throw the thing off, but there's got to be a few guys to bring that average back down that were 3.
Right.
Fuck.
what are you gonna do?
And then lastly, before we get to some email, my favorite, we've talked a lot about the TOEICs, the Teacher of the Year candidates, that usually
Indeed
the
we
chicks.
have, not in
that
a while,
put
but
out.
yeah.
We got a guy who's, in my opinion, up for TOEIC Awards, Teacher of the Year, and he didn't bang anybody.
Okay, I was gonna say.
No, he's not banging anybody. That monster goes to jail. But
Yes.
this guy, he's a technology teacher in Scotland. He's been fired from his job after it came out that he'd been using foul language and insults to agitate his students. His name's Michael Rankin. He's 54. He built up a reputation for being a rude boy to his pupils. I'm a dick. Some who were as young as 12 and 13 years old, and this goes through 2013. He was brought before the General Teaching Council for Scotland in order to have him defend his inappropriate conduct. The hearing determined that Rankin, who called his students wankers, bastards, fucking idiots, and told them they were shit at football. You're shite.
You're shite.
Would not be able to re-register as a teacher. And then we've got his charge sheet.
You're shite at football.
Yeah, shite at football. Between 16th of August 2012 and June of 2013, whilst employed as a teacher, it says that to the pupils, and in particular, you did say to pupil A, "You're shite at football. You'll never make it," or words to that effect. To pupil B, "You're a fucking idiot for not coming to my class. You should just fucking not come to my class." Pupil F, "For fuck's sakes, how many times have I got to show you?"
For fuck's sake.
What's wrong with this? I don't actually see anything.
And then he says to another student, "I shagged your mom."
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Come on, that's good hard ribbing amongst guys. Right?
I need to put my glasses on. I can't see because of too much something with a W. What would start with a W? Wanker? I can't see because of too much wanking. Is that why you wear glasses? Is that what happened to you? Making fun of the kid for beating off. Every time I shag your mom, she makes me a sandwich. That's why I'm fat. You will get
12 and 13-year-olds, this is too, right?
Yeah. You will get nowhere in life, and you're clueless.
I like it.
You can give this present of a mirror to your mom, but I already gave her a present last night.
Awesome,
He
man.
loves going back to the mom thing.
Sure.
He's banged all these little boys' moms. It's hilarious.
I wonder if he really has or not.
So they're watching Bend It Like Beckham in class. He's showing movies like Bend It Like Beckham in class.
Nice.
And they showed a car bouncing up and down, and he's like, "That's me and your mom in the back of the car."
Got the mom fixation.
Oh yeah. He's calling one kid a specky mother. You're a specky something. A specky is glasses. So this kid with glasses is like, "Shut up, specky." That's fucking awesome. He's calling another one a dafty. You're fucking daft. Which
What
is
the hell's a
stupid,
daft?
idiot. You're fucking daft. He told another kid, "How many pies you had today?" And then he repeatedly referred to the same pupil as a big bag of wind, fatty and fat bastard and fat cunt.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
12 and 13. I love this guy. He wrote the word fatty on the back of a mirror made by pupil G. And then he showed it to the class. He was bragging about his work. And then he told pupil E to punch another pupil in the arm as a response to the pupil breaking up his model. So he's like, "Punch him!" He repeatedly uses words like fuck, fucker, and fucking idiot when speaking to pupils. He'd say, "You wee bastard! Shut up, you wee asshole! You're fucking worthless."
Yo, wee bastard. That's great. He uses wee.
And he called the one kid Shrek. He kept calling the one student Shrek. Look at you, you Shrek.
Is he gonna make it through this?
No, he's fired and he
Oh,
cannot apply
damn
for
it.
his teaching license again. Now, in
What?
fairness to him, I thought I
Must be
read.
some mix up or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Sounds like
problem
he's
was.
just trying to motivate the kids. It sounds like to me.
What I had read too was that the students fucking love this dude, fought for him to keep his job. He's one of the favorite teachers there, and a lot of these sayings are
It's all
from
in
like
fun.
a cult favorite television show in Scotland. And so he's like almost relating to the students. They're watching it and they're throwing these slings at each other.
Yeah.
But
12 and 13 is a little young maybe to be doing that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
What are you
16,
gonna do?
17, maybe you're better off. But,
yeah,
ugh.
I don't see any fault with that. I swear to God, I would pay attention to that
I know,
teacher
that'd
in
be so
class
much fun.
if he called me a wee bastard.
A fucking cunt.
How funny would that be? You're daft. For Christ's sakes, for fuck's sakes, Jay, you're daft. You specky bastardy. Look at that specky bastardy.
You suck at football.
You're shite at football.
Awesome.
Eat pants now.
Trousers. He trousers now.
Oh, God.
Hey, as you all know, Big E has thrown all over his couch.
Oh.
Chaz Bono has eaten the King's peanut
Oh,
butter. What you might not know is right now at Zott Ford, you can lease a brand new 2014 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 for just $235 a month. That's right. Lease a Superfly, pimped out, bad mamma jamma F-150 4x4 for just $235
I want
a
one of
month.
those, dude, by the way.
Love it. Love it.
Do you?
Fuck.
You guys still love it?
Absolutely.
I want one of those aluminum ones.
Yeah.
They're
The
sweet looking.
15s.
Yeah.
The trucks and the deals won't last long, however, so hurry in and let them know Big E is going to get penetrated on the Vegas Strip. I disagree with that. He's a winner. He's going to win this race.
No.
I was looking
We're
at
gonna
my
win this race.
We're gonna
training
win
schedule
this
today.
race.
So
Yeah.
starting to get ready.
There's another reference to Eddie Murphy Delirious right there.
You're right. I'm
We're-
glad you caught that.
We're going to win
This race. Elvis in movies. He would
Yeah,
sing his
Elvis could
parts.
just sing any part. Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink.
I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every byway road. Much more than this, I did it my way.
There you go.
Yep.
Just sit back and watch the magic happen. Go to Zott Ford. That's the only place it can happen in Holly, I-75, exit 98. Mike, we have some email.
Let's get to it.
Okay, let's start with this one. Well, let's attend to this matter first.
All right.
Hey, fucktards. Gentleman J, stocksucker, and under suspicion Beagle. Hey, fucktards. I am by far no supporter of the advanced retard Eric. However, after casually viewing pictures on the social media site Facebook, I was stunned to view the attached pic and look forward to some explanation. Uh-oh. It looks like our own Chaz Bono partaking in some recreational simulation
Oh,
comparable
God.
to the exploits
This is
of the
from-
retard hot dog event.
Yeah.
I listen to you guys regularly and can't wait to hear Mike straining to do some explaining.
I know what this is,
Goodbye,
I bet.
BUI Sean.
Do you?
My only question is this you in this picture?
I feel like I know what picture this is going to be. Dude.
This
Oh,
is
like-
remarkable, sir.
yes.
Can you deal with that?
Yes, I can.
What is going on, Mister holding the hot dog out of his
Well, I wasn't-
zipper? Well,
I didn't
E.
want to be.
It's Play-Doh.
That's E.
That's
That's
Play-Doh,
E. That's,
and that's
you
E.
and E.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was a
how
bit.
did we go through this whole fucking thing without mention of this?
That was a bit on the air.
Ah,
That was a
yeah,
bit.
a bit on the air. A bit on the air with a picture
Dude, I wasn't-
of you hanging Play-Doh,
Yeah, you know what, dude?
Play-Doh out of your brong and him sucking it. He's deep throating the Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Play-Doh.
This was not. This was against my will for one.
It looks like it.
This is you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this incident with E at a campground with a hot dog, and we ripped on him. We pulled him apart.
This
is
was
the
this-
two of you.
This is different. This is a bit on a
How
radio
so?
show. This is a bit on a radio show. That's why. What we had done is we got Play-Doh in the mail, and I fashioned a nice panouse out of it, and I put it on Trudy's microphone. So the microphone is like this. All right, and so she comes in to do the news, and there's just a giant green veiny dick resting nicely on her microphone.
Got it.
And so she starts talking into it, and we're just kind of laughing, and she's playing it off. And then it just kind of tumbled into this, and then we posted these pictures of us, like, This is probably around the time we made him watch gay porn in the other room. Yeah.
Jay, with the, Jay,
Okay, good explanation.
Jay,
Next
Jay,
email.
Jay.
Are you kidding me? Dude, how did we go through the whole thing with, look at you, deep throating that, and the two of you never... How did you not say, dude?
Wait a minute.
Forgot about those.
So did I. But he's blowing a hot dog in the one at his buddy's waist. If I was blowing a hot dog
He's
down
at your waist, dude.
Yeah, but that's not a hot dog. That's Play-Doh.
My God.
You're really picking, what do you call that? Crossing hairs there, Mike?
If I was blowing...
You're crossing hairs.
Yeah, I am crossing hairs.
Or splitting them. I don't know.
Well, whatever.
If I was blowing that, I would have a problem with it. But the fact is, it's more of E blowing something on another
Jay,
man.
I understand, Mike, that you are not the one engaged in the oral congress.
Yes, and I'm not
Said
behind him
phallus.
either.
However, dude, how do you not remember that? To actually,
Oh, I remember
at
it
least-
now.
At least bring it up during the whole episode where we're dying because, oh my God, I can't believe E's on his knees sucking off a hot dog coming out of his buddy's brawn. It never occurred to you.
His buddy's
Shit, man.
wrong.
Shit, man. At some point in my life, I feel like I did something like that.
I
That
never-
never came to mind.
It never did. I swear to God. There's probably 1,000 pictures of other things that I don't remember either.
Hey, Jay, real quick, Jay, this is a little off subject, but do you think this would have some workplace, when you talk about some of the workplace or inappropriate and appropriate situations that were in the workplace?
This falls under that. Get out of here. You can't do that at the firm?
Yeah,
Can't do that at the firm.
What? Oh, God.
I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked, and I appreciate
all three. By the way, I like all three. How is this show going right now? The two main producers of the show right now. One is holding a dick, and the other is about to hit somebody with like a flip flop.
Who's that on your back with another dick on your back?
That's
Bentley, and that's Mark behind me with a flip flop. He's beating.
Actually, you know how you know? By the way, this means nobody else is in the room because that means Joey's taking this picture.
Yeah.
So nobody else is in the other room at this point.
Yeah. We did this. Well, where are we? Oh, we're in my office.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see in the window? Is Drew on the air behind you?
Can't tell, but
we could have been in a commercial break.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dude.
Although if you look at the computer, it didn't look
dude.
like
Not the same thing. Not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Simcoe, this
Not
needs
the same thing.
This needs to be
it looks like
on
that's
our,
in drop mode. That's
not
what
as
I'm
our
guessing.
post picture,
So.
but within our post today. So everybody.
I think
can-
this is a doctored photo. I got to
see
be
what
honest with you.
happened
I think this
here.
is a doctored photo. Someone's getting cute.
I'm shocked. I don't.
Doctored photo. Nothing's out of my pants. There's
Who
no
is just
hot dog.
stalking my Facebook
Thank you,
page, by the way?
Sean, for looking so closely. And it's funny. I don't think Sean realized that that's E.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
he's
You
like,
don't-
look at Chaz doing this. Look
Really?
at Chaz. And, dude, that's the two of you assholes. Who am I sitting amongst?
Monsters.
God damn it. God damn it, myself.
She's a good woman.
Keith writes in. Officer Walters, Counselor, and Kid E. Guys, I couldn't help but laugh and pull a U-turn to go snap a shot of this sign. It's off Barton Drive, just north of M14 in Ann Arbor. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Timco, do you have that one there by any chance? I've got it here. If not, there we go.
No!
No thoroughfare, private road.
Nice. You know what's funny?
Why would
8 months ago, that sign would have meant nothing to me.
You're right.
I wouldn't have known what that meant.
I know. I would have been like, what the fuck is that?
What a curious road sign.
Wow. I
That's
get
how-
that it's a private road, but no through fare. Apparently they're not charging to drive through here. It's a private road
Why would they spend to write all the letters out?
because they're smug. They're being smug.
Yeah.
They could have said, no street, no road.
Yeah. Private road.
Yeah.
No. What do they usually say on those? No through
Dead
traffic.
end. Yeah,
No
right,
through traffic.
Yeah, you could say all sorts of things. No pass through. No, yeah. There's
Thoroughfare. No thoroughfare.
They had to make the sign extra big just to fit thoroughfare on there. That would have been a much smaller
Yeah,
sign.
it's a waste of government expenditures.
ridiculous. As far as Big E, just because he's tall doesn't give him the right to have a cool nickname, Jay. You dropped the ball on this one. He is a kid. He writes like a kid, spells like a kid, stutters like a kid, jacks off like a kid, and laughs like a retarded kid. And after a Specs Kid Rock shout-out, he needs to be downgraded to Kid E, or Kitty,
Specs
K-I-T-T-Y, if you say it fast.
I don't know what the Kid Rock.
Kid E instead of Big E.
Oh,
Kitty.
I don't know what you meant. Specs.
Your Specs stupid
Oh.
tape where you did the Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, he is radio gold only because he doesn't have a brain. I'd like to help him out and offer some tips, but like Walter said, it's pointless, or it's worthless and pointless.
I don't
isn't
want
it?
your tips. So.
The calls to Mandy and Kelly. I don't remember Kelly, but
That was on Sunday.
Yeah,
Or Monday.
Kelly was the girl we talked to. That was at the bar with
the one at the bar.
TCG.
Crack me up. When are you going to call Mrs. Fady? I would have included Dawn there. I thought Dawn was
Dawn
the
was
better call. But,
Yeah, home run.
when are you going to call Mrs.
Not
Fady?
gonna
She
happen.
is the enabler and the one ultimately responsible for his awkwardness. Ciao, goodbye, BUI, Keith.
Don't blame my mom for this.
Yeah, Keith, and trust us, Jay and I have tried over and over, off the air and on, to get this son of a bitch to call his mother. We desperately want to
Doesn't care
talk
about the
to
show.
Mama Fady.
Unfortunately, he doesn't care about the show.
Yeah, I mean, he
I called
puts-
my father-in-law.
You did. Yep.
Called my wife just last night.
Yep. I tried
You
calling
also
Beth.
live in your own house and own everything that you have.
Hey, man.
Well, I don't, so.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your fault for being
Yeah, but nonetheless.
31.99
Yeah.
and
This
not living in
weekend,
your own house.
Big day.
30.99997, I'd say, right about now.
You'd really rather have a cock cake than a pair of titties cake?
No, titties cake, I'd have a titties cake over a cock
A
cake.
vagine. The vagines just gross him out. He's
Yeah.
grossed out
I'm
by
not
the
a-
thought of a vagine.
Yeah.
The beautiful flower that is a vagine.
Yeah, I know. Spectacular.
But yet he'd rather have a rod sitting there.
Yeah.
I'd rather have titties. I'll say that. Yeah, titties. I'll take the titties.
You know what's funny about the penis cake?
Hmm.
Gab had a penis cake at her bachelorette party, as many chicks have.
Yeah.
But we actually took a picture. We were going through some old wedding pictures, and like that one of me and you that I threw on Facebook that one night. You know, oh, we got married.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was one that we grabbed, and I took a picture of it with my phone just to easily post it.
Yeah.
Instead of scanning it and all that shit. And there was the penis cake, so I took a picture of that one too. I don't.
Oh.
No idea why, but
Yeah.
there it is in all its full glory. Penis with oh, nice, with all this hair coming off, and it's just a gross looking thing.
Yeah.
Sweet Pie's flipping through my phone the other day.
Oh, no.
And she gets the I'm like, whoa! I start to flip by, and she's like, what was that? Wait, go back to
No,
that.
no, no,
What's
no,
that?
no,
I'm like,
no.
eh.
What did you do?
I just kept flying by.
You see a homo milk.
Is that it, Jay? Is that really it? Or can you actually show us or no?
I can show you.
Okay. Well, you don't have to do it now.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that. It was a giant penis with balls.
More like, yeah, like a flat, not
Exactly. It was a profile.
Yeah.
More of a profile. That's obviously 3D. Ross writes in, hey, Fukfase, self-checkouts at big box stores are so motherfucking infuriating that I feel if they consider me part of the staff when I go to check out, then the least they can do is compensate me. I try my best to scan as few of the items I have in my cart as possible without looking obvious.
Yeah.
I tend to scan one item and throw two in my basket. If it's small enough and the machine won't notice, is it wrong? Who gives a fuck? As Jay pointed out many times, those cocksuckers have deep pockets yet can't fully staff the fucking store. I digress. I think he missed my point.
I think he did too. I love that he picked up on that. Yeah, Jay does that a lot. Oh yeah, they've got deep pockets. Of course, they can afford it, right? Right? Yeah, yeah. Take advantage of it.
I
And
would
he's like,
say
yeah, that's right. He's got a good point. The
stealing
lawyer's
is
making a good point. They do have deep pockets.
Is this an epidemic? Like, is this what people do at those things? I honestly have never stolen a thing through those.
No, I haven't either. But it's only because I don't. I would hate to get caught.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I said that I had done it,
It was on accident.
I have never done it on purpose. I will say I've never done it on purpose, but
No,
I
but it
have
sounds
had
like
happen.
people just do that.
Yeah.
I could so
Slip
see
them in.
people doing it though.
Isn't it kind of that attitude, by the way, that's bankrupting this country in a lot of respects?
Yes.
Like thinking
Yes.
people deserve $100 million for spilled coffee.
Yeah.
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 It's the
Hey, I'm entitled, right?
but it works on juries. You get in there with someone who's had an incident against a big corporate company.
Yeah.
Corporate companies, juries look at that.
Faceless, nameless kind of thing.
Yeah, McDonald's, they're everywhere. They can afford it. Walmart, fuck them.
You know, I know Jay, I've made jokes
Stick
like
it
that.
to
I don't
the
really
man.
believe that, by the way.
What?
What?
I don't really believe that they're big corporations and they should just have to pay for it. I don't.
Yeah.
No, you've stated your piece, and to the extent that you're going back on that, it goes to your
whatever.
credibility.
All right. Whatever you
Changing your
want.
testimony.
Yeah, okay. You.
Hey, we can save the rest for tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Remember, everybody, with the podcast awards, if you care to help us out, we've been nominated for 2 different awards in the comedy and people's choice categories. There's a link on our website, or you can just go to podcastawards.com. And if you're thinking we're not talking to you because I already voted, you can vote every day. The voting lasts for 2 weeks. And so, yeah, it'd be awesome if people went out there and voted every day when you wake up. Make it the first thing you do while you're having your coffee. Why not? And we'll see if if we can't steal an award somewhere. How cool would that be? And with that, why don't we call it a day? We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all-new Thursday edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow. You know not what remains shallow. All to stay.